Happy you're here. I'm gonna invite Petra. Hi. Welcome everyone. So happy we're going live for another Soul Care live class, and I'm gonna go live with Petra. It might work in a sec. I think you're getting there. Hi. Today's topic is how to help Earth and yourself be more happy and healthy in one lifetime. And I'm not yet seeing Petra, so I'm gonna accept you again, go live. Let's see if it works. I think it's gonna work. You're seeing it, but for some reason I'm not seeing you. It says unable to join. Why is that? I don't know why. Oh, it says you're live here. Well, it should work. She is live, but for some reason, not yet seeing her going on with the video. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Hi.
Yes, hello.
Happy you're here, dear.
Great. Well, thank you for having me here. I just need to press this button there. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And how about the echoes? Are you good over there?
I'm good. No echoes over here.
Awesome. Same here.
Perfect.
Things are going well.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually see Jose Maria. You joined. Good to have you here. I actually wanted to contact you, so that's good. And hi, Char Gonzalez. Nice to have you on the
and,
show.
and Rooney even joined. Hi, happy you're here, everyone.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Great. Thank you so much. Today we're diving into a new topic, a topic that Petra, this beautiful soul that you're seeing here, is well an expert in, as I believe. You're such a dear friend and well, we even work on projects together, so we're also colleagues in a sense, but also a dear friend and a beautiful soul that I'm so grateful for, that I've been able to meet you many times on this path already. The topic is how to help Earth and yourself be more happy and healthy in one lifetime, and maybe even in other lifetimes too. And
Continually going, yeah.
And in the meantime, also Sylvia joined. Hi, dear. Happy you're here. I will give a bit of an introduction to you, everybody here watching or listening later on, as we also record this for our podcast. And for people that don't know us yet, we'll try to give a bit of an intro in a second. And also, if you have any questions or things you'd like to share, we hope you do, and please type them in the chat box below here. And of course, if you're listening to this on the podcast version, please find our emails in the show notes and ask any questions that you have. We're happy to serve you and support you. So I'd love to tell you a little bit about Petra, and then Petra give you the space to maybe add some things if I forgot some things. So as I understand, about 10, but maybe even more years ago, your journey of personal development started, and it started with, no other than Jim Rohn, who is a beautiful teacher and has also been a teacher to Tony Robbins, I believe. And you not only found a lot of your, let's say, information and beautiful encouragement maybe with Jim Rohn, but also with Tony himself and T. Harv Eker, Kevin Trudeau, and many more, I believe. And you've been helping, or this has been helping you to work towards your goals of financial freedom and financial independence. You've been working many years in several areas, and one of them is sustainability and energy regarding our beautiful home planet. But there's so much more to you that I would love to give space to today, to be shared and to be discovered by everybody watching and listening. In the meantime, also Yola's joined. Thank you for being here. And you've been doing this while mastering your mindset and your emotions, going through some deep things in life. And I think you're such an inspiration and such a beautiful, strong, and feminine, beautifully feminine woman. And yeah, it's an honor to may join you here today again. Welcome.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you very much, Felina. It's really nice to, well, hear those words, and it's like comforting and warming as well to be able to share the things that I've gone up to, been up to over the past decades, and things that I've learned, and I'm happy to share it with everybody as well, because there might just be one little thing that might help someone else move on or move forward again in life as well, and also our planet Earth as well. So yes, well, thank you for having me, and thank you for the invitation. So very happy to be here.
Oh, it's an honor and such a pleasure. And did I leave out on anything? Would you like to maybe start with adding some things or things that people, well, that might be fun or good to know about you before we dive into our talk today?
Well, there's so many things that I've come across over the past years already, and I think one of the things that really got to me is when I actually did my trip, when I went on a trip to Antarctica. And like floating around with all the icebergs, and it's just so phenomenal, and it's just really breathtaking. It's just so overwhelming to see all that nature, and it makes you look at it as like yourself being so very small, and nature looks after itself, of course, and it's in a way a bit double as well, that you go to places like that and you do disturb everything over there as well. On the other hand, it's also very you learn a lot from it as well, going to places or even just going abroad to the country next door, for example, just to learn about the cultures and all the everything that's there, and the way you look at things yourself, and it just broadens your mind when you go and see different places like that. Yeah.
Wow, yes. I love this. I feel we've connected on many levels on this when it comes to seeing Earth, being willing to travel and discovering all these hidden gems in nature. And I think it's that's an inspiration. Not many people have been to Antarctica, right? So that's such a gift and such a broad knowledge that you have to share here, or that you get to share. And thank you for that. I feel this is something that many people would wish or dream of, to go there and to travel and see more of the world and broaden your horizons. I think a lot of people listening or watching today might be able to relate to that, and I'm grateful that you're doing that and have been doing that. When it comes to today's topic, so I'll repeat it one more time for people that joined in a little later: how to help Earth and yourself be more happy and healthy in one lifetime. When it comes to your passion in this and your own journey on not only helping Earth but also yourself getting more happy and healthy, what does this topic mean to you today? And then I have another question, but let's start with one.
Yeah, well, just going back to my trip to Antarctica, I think if you talk about being happy and being healthy, the way I actually had the opportunity to go there is one of the things that you sometimes just need to take opportunities that come along your path. And I actually remember that I was watching a series in the Netherlands where Floortje Dessing was going to Antarctica, and she was traveling around, and you could have a look and see the company that she went with. But it's a lot of money actually to go there. So it just got stuck in my head. But I thought, well, you know, I still have to save up some money for that. And I actually had a mortgage, and I saved up some money, and I was thinking of maybe I should just pay off my mortgage and just, you know, put some money in there. And then the guy at the bank said, well, if you put the money in your mortgage, you can't take it out anymore. So you might as well keep it in the bank. And of course, you know, like, of course the bank would say something like that, because that gives them money. That's the way they generate money. So, and I was like, oh, okay. So I left it in my bank account. And then through people, I actually got on a workshop where I met someone who was actually organizing a trip to go there.
Wow.
And then I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to send him an email and asking him, okay, so if we want to go, what's the schedule? How do we what do we need to do? And then, because I was, if I would actually choose to go with him with this group, the organization would actually give a discount. And then I thought, well, you know, that makes it just a lot easier for me to access. And so you know, the universe always works together with things, and things just like move in a way. And then, so the bank guy had to say, no, don't put it in your mortgage, because now I actually had the opportunity to go on the trip. And yes, it would have been good to pay off the mortgage. I did that, although anyway, a few years later. But you know, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity, and hopefully there will be another lifetime opportunity for that again. I'm actually going to work on that to have that happen. But you know, you really just need to do what makes you happy, and if it's something that you really want to go for, the universe will actually like help you to get there in a way. And it might not be directly, but it might just go through people you meet, through all kinds of activities you do, or things that happen that are not always in your control. And when you feel happy, that also gives you a good feeling, and also helps you feeling good towards being healthy as well. You know, we always think about being healthy, like look at the foods that you eat, but it's far more than that. And yeah, it's always good to have a look. What do I eat? What should I do to take a bit more, maybe take a bit less? But there's so many different factors involved on your health that make you happy. And yeah, so that's like, everything happens for a reason. There's no coincidence in that sense to me. And sometimes I actually like go backwards in time, that I think, oh, who did I meet, and where did it lead me to as well? And it's very, if you start thinking about that, and like the synchronicity actually goes like that as well. It's very, very warming in that sense to know that the universe has got everything ready for you, even though it doesn't feel at stages.
Thank you so much for the depth that you bring us along in, because when you started explaining about what this topic means to you, and we now kind of gone to synchronicities, trusting in the universe, just making a plan out of what it is that you desire, and what it is that will help you feel more healthy and happy. And maybe if that is about journeying across the earth, then that may be implemented there as well. And I love how you share this, and how you shine while you'll do this. People listening to this might not see it, but she's smiling beautifully, and there's so much trust in what you're saying right now. And that might be a difficult thing for some people, not yet being there, right? And especially after some of the more deeper years we've been through with all humanity the past years. So I think it's so beautiful how you've, for some reason, been able to keep on seeing that light, keep on trusting, even though sometimes life doesn't, well, sometimes life might even feel harsh or, you know, not showing you what it is that you want, but it will come in different ways through people or situations. And the fact that you're able to still see that, still believe that, still have that trust, that says so much about you, dear. It's so, so beautiful. And
Thank you.
yeah, and maybe just to kind of have a bit of a turnaround, because you're pointing out something so important here for people listening now and watching. By the way, thank you, Raymond and Ahmed, for being here. But what I would love to check in with you when it comes to this trust and seeing the light, what do you feel has helped you when it comes to this? What helps you get out of you know the more deeper, sometimes even a bit of darker feelings, and what helps you keep trust on that journey?
There's few things. I think there's actually like a fly going around as well. Yeah, it's on the camera. Well, to me, it's being aware of things as well. Like be aware of the way I feel, and know that I'm able to actually like change that feeling as well. And what actually does help, like now I'm aware of the way that I feel and how I can actually like work on it, feel better. That sometimes I find it a bit difficult, even though I've been working on things for years as well. Like my personal development has been going for years, but sometimes you just have those moments that things don't seem to be working out, and you have like a very negative feeling, or I have a very negative feeling in that sense. So to me, I do listen a lot to like Kevin Trudeau, like Esther Higgs, just looking up those little videos, or ways I can actually like also like look differently at the situations that is happening. And the fun thing is that like I have a dog, and my dog just sometimes just stands in front of me, and it's just like, come on, let's go, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna play with the ball, we're gonna go out, we're gonna do stuff. And he's just like, he just doesn't give you any time to really realize that you know, don't stay stuck in this. It just wants to take you out. And I believe that we as a human being, we could do that more often. Like those, I do have people around me that are very capable of like just like that, go straight into like positive thinking, positive emotions and everything. But like when you really look at animals in that sense, and I have my dog as my example, you know, why keep stuck on something that has happened yesterday or 2 days before or like a year ago or so? Yes, some things do have do keep on like working still with you, you know, you still feel the effect from it maybe. But it's also the way you learn how you can deal with that, and sometimes you need to get rid of your emotions in that sense, because it's not always aimed at you as a person or as a human, but more at the well, everything that happened at that certain moment, maybe for someone else as well. You know, the intentions are always good, but it's also the way you deal with it yourself, and I think that's very that needs a lot of work to change that. Yeah,
I love how you point this out. So just giving a bit of a recap for people joining just now, we're talking about how to help Earth and yourself be more happy and healthy in one lifetime. And we've touched on beautiful things about how to trust, how to get yourself to happier places, and how to really take care of making sure that you make a plan of the things that make you happy, and make sure that they happen for you in a way that is trusting, and also it might help to work on some personal development there, and to understand the different aspects to health, because it's so broad, as you just pointed out, Petra. Like it's so important to look at your emotions and make sure that you find ways to really feel them and release them, so that there's space in you and around you to attract what it is that you really love to have around you. And emotions might be on the physical level, like health also has energetic levels, spiritual levels, mental levels, all these levels. But when it comes to emotions, we're also often talking about the physical level, where we can kind of host and hold on to some stuck energy there, which is often the emotions in our bodies. And yeah, just really grateful for how you share a bit on your journey there, Petra, and how difficult it might have been for you too, but how you found ways to get through that. Would you be okay with elaborating a bit more on maybe some moments in your life, some moments along your journey? What have been some lows for you, where you've been able to kind of step out of, or feel into really, and then release more of that? And what was your journey there?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking. It's sometimes I really need to think what are those moments that really got to me. And I think one of those moments is actually the moment that I received the message that I have like a gen mutation. And this is that I have a gen mutation, and that's like well, in the family, there's more people that actually have it, and mainly the women, but it's also with men. But it's the gen mutation called BRCA1, which actually gives me a higher risk of having breast cancer or ovary cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just over 10 years ago that I actually heard that message, that I actually got that message. And to me, that was very emotional that I actually heard that. And like one of my sisters actually has it as well. And within the family, well, there are some people that had it checked as well. And it's very difficult to to see what's the next step. You know, you're being guided by medical staff, and they indicate what the options are that you have. And at that specific moment, I had to decide, or quite soon afterwards, do I still want to have children? What can I do to like lower the risk, or you know, what kind of options do I actually have?
Yeah.
And that was quite that took quite some effort as well, and lots of emotions, because all of a sudden you need to make a decision about something that can impact your life, or that actually impacts your life in that sense as well. And they gave me the opportunity to go into a research like every half a year to have a checkup, but then that was like for having my breast checked, that I didn't have any cancer in that, but like with the ovaries, they said, no, I'm sorry, but we can't check that. If we do, then usually it's too late as well anyway. So for the next few years after that, I actually was in that program to like every half a year I would go back to this to the hospital and have like a mammography and like a MRI scan. And at one certain stage, I think I did that for like 4 or 5 years. And at one stage I thought, I don't really want to do this anymore. You know, every half a year, I wasn't scared of the results that came out of the research, but I thought, well, you know, give attention to that actually grows. And I just didn't feel like this was the way for me to go in that sense anymore. And I still had to decide, do I want to have like an operation? You know, do I want to have my ovaries taken out? Do I want to have my breasts amputated? Because that's what they then offer and indicate. It lowers your chances of getting cancer. And you know, that's quite a tough decision. There's like, people might know Angelina Jolie, who actually had the operation done a few years ago. And there's well, today I saw a lady in the Dutch newspaper as well who actually had the operation done herself as well. But for me, a few years ago, I decided that I didn't want to stay in the research anymore. I didn't want to focus on that. So I left it. And I thought, you know what? If something happens, if I do get the cancer, then that's the way it is. But I only have a higher risk of actually getting the cancer. It doesn't mean, per definition, that I get cancer. So I actually took for myself I took the choice to no longer focus on that and focus on the good things, and you know, just acknowledge it that it's there, and leave it as it is. And a few years later, I actually saw a piece of a documentary, and it was Bruce Lipton in that documentary. And well, many people who are in personal development will actually know Bruce Lipton as well. But
yeah, just for people who don't know him, he is a beautiful doctor who specializes in many aspects of how to kind of naturally heal, and also about energy focus. But maybe you can explain a bit more about this beautiful soul.
Yeah, well, he's also very, very much focused on your like how you can like heal yourself in just by looking at the way that you live and the way everything that you have around you in that sense. And to me, like what he was actually mentioning in that documentary, it actually made me cry, because for me it was like, wow, I did make the right decision for me. You know, he mentioned that, you know, having the gen mutation doesn't mean you get the cancer. It's all the surrounding factors that have influence on your body and in your emotions. So everything that has to do with the food that you eat, the stress that you have, the way you are able to talk about your emotions, get rid of that maybe, and also like the pollution that's everywhere around us. You know, it's the mutation itself doesn't do anything by itself, but everything that you do and everything that's around you can actually trigger it. And to me, that was like such a relief that for me, I made the right decision. And yes, I still have the percentage that of the higher risk that I can have cancer, but I can also have another cancer that's not related to this gen mutation anyway. You know, so why work on something in my body, whereas the next moment I might have liver cancer or I might have lung cancer, you know? So to me, it didn't make sense to actually like go forwards in that way. And he just confirmed my decision to me. And for everybody, that's different. You know, everybody needs to go through their own path and needs to follow their own feelings with that. And like the reason I do tell this as well is because I do see that most people just go with what the medical doctors say. You know, you gotta have an operation, you need to get rid of your breast, you need to get rid of your ovaries, so you lower the chance, lower the risk that you have. And yes, the risk might be a lot lower in that sense, but you know, I do think that it's good for people to also realize for themselves that there's different ways that you can go in that sense. And
Yeah, different choices to be made. You have the choice, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I do think that is a part that's not being illustrated by the medical doctors, and I can understand that. You know, it's like it's also what they're used to do, and it's okay if you choose differently, but they don't really show that as an option. Yes, they say, well, you can if you want to talk to us again, come over here and we'll talk to you again, if you do want to get an operation. But in a way, there's no guidance in, if you choose not to, in that sense, and which is okay, because, you know, like for me, I decided I don't want to be focused on that, so I'll just bring my focus somewhere else. And like having a group of people that decide the same is maybe good, but then you also keep talking about it anyway, so you still keep your energy going in that way. So yeah, I think it's good for people to realize that there's always different choices people can make based on just some own research and own feelings as well.
Oh, I'm so grateful, dear Petra, for what you just shared just now. There's such a big gift in this for everybody watching and listening. Not sure if you're grasping it yet, but it is so deep and profound, and it touches me personally on some personal topics, but also the fact that you're so open and willing to share how this journey has been for you, because that's a deep journey, and it can sometimes even be a very much lonely journey for a while, because people around us, saying us because I'll share in a sec a bit on why this touches me personally, but when it comes to making that decision, and sometimes having people around you that might not get that choice, or you know, that would love to support you but also don't know yet about that other choice that's there, right? The journey of not focusing on this, and making sure that your focus is on something else. Well, there's such a tremendous amount of courage needed to make this kind of choice, and sometimes even, let's just point it out, sometimes there must be a huge amount of pain to get to this point as well. And that says so much about your strength and your character, and what you've been able to walk through and feel through in order to get to this point. And yeah, that touches me. I think it's so beautiful. And when it comes to the personal aspect on why it touches me is, for me, the journey was a little different, but I recognize that sometimes there can be huge amounts of pain. You know, in my life, it was physical pain, but also emotional, spiritual, mental pain for a while, that made me also make different choices at some point, because what life was showing me was sometimes keeping me in places that I would be in that deep type of pain, and might have been necessary for survival to choose a different focus. And when it comes to physical health, I also remember it's a different gen mutation, but there is one in my dear family. And I also made a very conscious decision to not follow that focus. And I did have, or I was diagnosed with a pre-stage of MS, which had me in fear that I would be in a wheelchair at the age of 35. And that was a focus for a while. But then it made me kind of realize that I could do that focus and that type of life, and, you know, choose the medical. And I'm not saying the medical societies or communities are anything wrong. They're beautifully well equipped to help with all sorts of health issues. But there's also such a big amount of group of people with chronic diseases, just like multiple sclerosis is, that are not finding answers there. And so what you're sharing with us, Petra, is such a big gift to help people realize, hey, there is a choice. You might not be helped towards that path when you're in conversation with your medical doctors. But there are so many more opportunities. I made that decision too, and there's no wheelchair here, and I'm walking again and seeing again. And I believe this too, but sometimes there's the feeling of the pain is almost like really taking that in is sometimes necessary to be able to allow in the feeling of the freedom of that choice too. And thank you for that we got to get into this. In the meanwhile, thank you.
Yeah.
I also saw that we got some beautiful blessings from Pakistan. Thank you for being here. There's also Amaka Mompreneur and Dijkstra Arla who joined. Thank you, dear ones. If you have any questions or things that you'd like to share, please type them in the chat box. And if you're listening on this podcast version, thank you so much for being here still. Please stay because Petra has some beautiful things to share still. So I hope that you stay until the end. Well, we really dove deeply into the topic of how to help Earth, yourself, to be more happy and healthy in a lifetime. And we dove into the difficult decision to focus on the good, even though maybe sometimes all the odds are against you. And you can then decide to focus if that's true for you or not. And there's such an amount of courage needed to go there. You also shared something interesting. You said something about the pollution and things on our Earth happening right now. And it might be good to kind of shift a bit into that, if that's okay with you. Because you're this beautiful, enlightened warrior who's on this journey to create so much more awareness, not only about health, as you just shared, such a deep thing about the choice of whether to just not go with the regular procedures or medications or not only medication, but maybe in your case, the procedure of taking away some organs in order to not have the high risk of a certain type of cancer. But that can be different for everybody, right? But when it comes to creating that awareness, as you're doing right now, I believe, well, we've been working on that together, but people that don't know us won't know, of course. So I believe you're very much into something else, which is also, well, related to today's topic on how to also help Earth be and leave it more happy and healthy in this one lifetime. And when it comes to pollution and things that are happening all across the Earth, there's one person that I would go to find knowledge on this and to know where to go on how to help clear and clean up all the plastic waste on this Earth. And that would be you, Petra.
Yeah. Thank you.
Would you maybe share with us on what it is you do, what it is that it mean? Well, what does it mean? First of all, maybe for people that don't know much about this, but then also how are you and how can others, also new generations find a happier Earth for themselves?
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, well, it's actually about 4 years ago that I came across this project, and like sometimes you see the images on or the videos on television, or you see photos with the animals being stuck in plastic, eating plastic, or like the having fish being in a plastic bag in a water. That was always very emotional for me to see. It's like Wow, isn't there just like a way that we can just prevent that from happening? And well, the way to prevent it, of course, is to not use it. But you know, like we're in such a world of comfort and ease that and also for hygiene, you know, plastic in itself is not really that bad, but the way we use it afterwards or after we used, then you know we just throw it out, and that's it. You know, we're moving on to the next bit already. And I was always heartbroken when I saw those photos and those videos with those animals, and I think, well, you know, that's there's always something else, or like the animals or the nature that that has to do with something that it's not
and
made to do with.
yes, and just sorry for bumping in here, just for people listening that have not seen these photos. Just imagine pretty rough photographs of how plastic is found in the bellies of for example, birds, but also dolphins, sea lions, all types of beautiful animals. But it's even found in human beings, little pieces of plastic. So just so that you have an image if you're listening. Thank you, Petra.
Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you for adding that as well. And like even the research shows that it's also in placenta already. You know, it's like it's really inside our bodies, and we just don't realize, because yeah, it's been talked about, and it's the research is being done, but unless you really have to deal with that because you have a problem because of it, then you're not aware of what is actually happening. So yeah, when this project actually came on my path about 4 years ago, to me it was like, okay, there's finally a way. I always like the actions, you know, like the activities, going out, picking up the trash, everything. And I always had the question afterwards, and then what? What are we going to do with it? Are we going to like, you know, put it in the rubbish bin and that's it? And then it's going to be taken to the landfills, or it's being burned or whatever. And then I already heard about some sort of pyrolysis projects, but most of them didn't really work out. Like this, it's been a bit longer ago. But when this project actually came to me, I was like, wow, you know, they for me it was really a way to be able to actually like clean up, you know, not just put it in the landfill and just maybe just burn it, because like when you burn it, you know, the air gets polluted again as well. And when you put it in a landfill, birds take it away, the wind blows it away, it goes everywhere again within the environment or in the oceans as well.
Yeah, so just to a little recap for people listening that have never heard about landfills. Just imagine like a really deep, low, enormously big kind of hole in the earth that's filled to the brim with plastic, like even above the earth, but also very much in the earth, just so that you have a bit of an image what that means. What is a landfill and what is the pyrolysis process and burning it? Maybe you can explain a bit on that.
Yeah. So yeah, like landfills, they're up to 15, up to 20 meters deep as well. So that's quite a huge hole in that sense. And what actually happens with the plastic waste that's on those landfills, but also that's been taken from like hotels and car dealers and shopping malls and everything. The plastic waste is being heated through pyrolysis, and it actually makes sure that the plastic turns back into oil again. So like many people, you might not even know that plastic is being made from oil. I didn't know until a few years ago that it was made from oil. So we're just bringing it back into the old state of the commodity. And the thing that I really like about this project as well is that because you turn the plastic waste back into advanced bio oil, you actually like clean up the planet, you clean up the environment, You take it out of the environment. It's being turned back into oil, so you don't need to take any oil out of the ground because you can actually like use this. And you know, I'm actually really looking forward to the moment that we can still keep on going with getting rid of all the plastic waste that's been collected for the past decades, like 5-6 decades already.
Yeah.
And that we, in that way, only need to use that oil that we actually produce from that way. So we're still cleaning up the planet, and we're still using a commodity that we don't need to take out of the ground anymore. Like at this moment, there's still so much. We are so used to all the products that we have around it. It's not just the plastic bags wrapped around the food that we buy, but it's also like in your phone, in your laptop, in your tea kettle, or in your coffee machine. You know, it's in your car. There's just so much plastic being used that we still will need the oil out of the ground, because there's just not so many factories or companies that actually turn the plastic waste back into oil. So like we have a focus to, like, a huge ambition is actually to set up over 140 projects. Like there's here at the moment in well, not here where I am now, but here in Bangkok, where there's where they got like a machine, like 3 machines running to produce the oil. And we would like to have over 140 projects of that around the world. So it's quite ambitious, and we might not reach it all the way, but we don't know. Maybe we do reach it before like 2030. That would be really awesome, because you know, in all the beautiful places that we have, you know, all the beautiful islands where you're used to like just walk on your bare feet in the sand, or like walk on your flip-flops, how cool would it be that there's just no plastic waste or no waste at all being found on those beaches? How cool would that be? And
that would be awesome. And also, yeah, if we could help lower all this pollution that is not only affecting the animals, the beaches, and the earth itself, but also the humans and the beautiful women with their placentas that walk this earth, just like you and me, and also in men, by the way. It's found in both females and males. But I love how you shared this beautiful project, what it means. Thank you so much for elaborating on that, and also for kind of connecting this to health, not only our health as human beings, but the common health. If you want to inhabit this earth, we need to create some awareness here on the choices we have, right? And that's kind of the it feels like that's the theme of today, and it's so beautiful how we're able to connect that. Thank you so much for going into that. Would it be okay if I'll ask and give you some space here to maybe take the listeners with you on maybe a little exercise or some information or something that they could do to deepen that awareness, to deepen their courage towards making these different choices, and or maybe share some things that have helped you. Would you be open to take us with you in that?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Well, you know, everything always starts with awareness. You know, it's like here in the Netherlands, we're very aware of the plastic and the garbage that we have, and we're very aware that we actually like put it in the bins, and that's that. And we think that everything is being taken care of really well. And most of the garbage it is, but there's still so much that is not being taken care of in a way that's more sustainable. For example, like last year, the Plastic Soup Foundation actually did some research, and they found out that over 200 million kilograms of plastic waste from the Netherlands is being sent to Asia. So whereas we think, oh yeah, like I separate my my waste, and yeah, I buy as many products without a plastic bag. You know, we we really are aware that we're doing a good thing. But everything that happens after it leaves our premises, you know, we have no control over that, and only about 10%, or maybe not even 10%, is being recycled.
And we have no idea, right? We have no idea that this 2 point many million is sent from the Netherlands and other countries in Europe right back into Asia, into these landfills. So we're thinking we're doing a great job, but still there's so much not in our, well, what you said, our premises, our vision. Sorry for interrupting you, just pointing it out. Yep.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, you know, so I think that's where it starts with, you know, be aware what you actually buy and bring your own bags. You know, that's been happening for the last few years already as well. But when you look in the supermarket, there's still lots of products within plastic as well. And yes, of course, it also has to do with safety and hygiene. So in that sense, it's very important that that does happen as well. But we do need to look further ahead. You know, we have some generations to get onto the earth, and you know, we want to have them a beautiful planet as well, and a healthy planet. So
yeah, just to point into this just for one sec, like, just imagine, you might have seen some of these documentaries already, but just imagine that there's no Earth for the next generations to come, right? Just to point it out, it's like, we want this Earth to be there, but then we need to stop taking everything from this beautiful Mother Earth, and make sure that she can blossom instead of be left empty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think that's where it happens as well. And what we see as well is that more companies are working on the corporate social responsibility as well. And you know, like the company actually offers companies and also individuals to reduce the plastic footprint by the service taking the plastic waste out of the environment and have it converted back into bio oil. And I think that is a great way to actually like support the project as well, because with companies and individuals doing that, like asking the company to take out the amount of plastic waste and pay for it, they're actually able to set up more and more projects worldwide. And I do need to say that's one of my missions as well, to be able to set up more of those projects worldwide, and have more people join and support in that sense, because you know, we can't do it by ourselves. And yes, everything always is about money. You know, like, if you really want to do something and you want to have a big impact or a huge impact, then usually most of the time it's about money as well. And you know, going out, picking up the plastic waste from the streets, I love those activities, because it does make sure that people become more aware in that sense as well. But it's the next step after that needs to be taken care of now as well. And I think having companies and individuals using that service and being able to support the project and fund the project in that way, we can actually like leave a cleaner planet when we leave the planet for our next generations to come as well. So
yeah, I love that, and I think it's so important, and I share this mission so much. So I came through just for a couple of times, but what I would love to maybe give you some space for is how can people do this if they would love to get in touch with you? Where can they find you? And you know, what would it mean for them? Yeah, would you maybe help us find you? How and where?
yeah, well, I'm easily traceable. You know, if you put in my name on Google, you'll probably find me. There might be a few other people with the same name, but I use LinkedIn a lot.
So for people listening, what is your name? Just one more time, and how do we spell it?
Oh yeah, my name is Petra Muller, and you spell it Petra, and then Muller is Muller. So it's pretty easy. And yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook. I use also Plastic Waste Mission, so people might keep track on that as well. I'm on Instagram. I actually have TikTok as well. I haven't used it that much yet, but yeah, I have some little videos on there, but not specifically. I'm only trying put on some videos, but I'm still working on that.
Nice. So people can find you under your own name on the socials, and if they want to send you like a direct email or something, what would it be? If you
Probably my personal email. That's petrusa1976@gmail.com. So
okay. People can find you there too.
Yeah, Petra is my like first baptized name. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful. And we'll make sure to put your links and everything in the show notes also. So if you didn't catch that because you're in the car or something, just click on it back when you're safe and sound to have a check, and you'll find all her information here. If you'd like to join on this beautiful mission and helping clean up Earth and leave it better, happier, and healthier for the next generations to come. We meaning I think us, humanity, as we need all the help we can get to make sure that we can stay on this planet Earth. So I'm grateful that you're such a beautiful leader and very much heart-based leader in this. And I've really had it was such a joy to have this conversation with you and connect with you. And if it's okay with you, I have one last question, and that is, are you maybe following let's say like a motto or a sentence or something that is dear to you that you feel might be helpful for people, to like an affirmation, something similar that helps you through maybe sometimes difficult times and helps you choose the happy focus again? And what is it, so that others might connect with that too?
Well, I didn't expect this one, so I thought, oh, okay, what do I actually use? But what comes to mind straight away is things are always working out for me. That's what Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks always say as well. You know, things are always working out for me. And even though sometimes you have a bit, you know, that feeling that, why is things going a way I don't want, or a different way that I want, then I just think, well, things are always working out for me. And then I'll just focus on that. And I think it's a nice one to finish off with.
I think so too. It's so beautiful. Things are always working out for me, meaning you listening here or having been with us on this live Instagram version as well. Thank you so much, dear Petra. And just for people that have not heard about Esther and Abraham Hicks, these beautiful souls are very much connected to the work. Well, it's a beautiful life's work. Not only by them, I believe, but also by Marianne Williamson, if I'm not wrong. And it's called A Course in Miracles. And it's a beautiful, well, there are many programs that you can follow in this. There's a beautiful book around this. Yeah, just for people that want to find where they can, where is this beautiful work and where is this affirmation to be found? Could you repeat it one more time?
Things are always working out for me. Ask and it is given.
And it is given. Yes. Thank you so much, dear. Had a great time. I hope that was the same for you. Maybe you'd like to share something before we end.
No, well, thank you very much. I think the hour went past really, really quick. And thank you for having me and just having me able to share my stories and maybe help people move forward with things that they work on or that they want to know more about as well. So very happy with that. Thank you very much for your invitation.
Oh, it was such a pleasure, dear, and I'm really grateful that you've been here and sharing all the depths. I'm very sure you've been helping a lot of people already, also including myself here. You've touched my heart so much today again, and I hope that many people will find their ways to you and the beautiful work you do. And yeah, I hope to connect soon. Let's close this Instagram live for now. Thank you everybody that joined here and for all your support and love. And well, see you soon on the next one. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.